It's time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to grow and scale your business from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, we've returned for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. And now, here are your hosts.
Oh, fired up. Listen to that. Fired up out there.
Is that a new one? I don't think I've heard that sound effect from you yet.
I haven't played that. So there's this song that I listen to, and that goes off in the song. And I was like, man, I need that for the live show. And so when I downloaded it to my phone, my wife was like, oh my God.
That's
great.
Just
gonna play that all the time. Like I take my phone, I'm like, bah, 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 bah.
They played that in a club after I performed one time.
Oh, yeah. So they do it at the hockey games when they score a goal.
Okay.
That's like what it's from. Like it goes off the air horn. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
so there's this song I like to listen to. It's called Peanut Butter and Jelly. And they have that in the, I don't know if you ever heard that one. It's like an EDM song, but anyway.
That's great.
Hey, welcome everybody. You're here at the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis. I've got my co-host Paul James on here. Welcome back, Paul.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're going to have a good live show today. We're going to talk some more. By the way, let's see who's here in the comments. If you were on the training that Paul did on Wednesday, let me know in the comments. We did a training on creating some passive AI cash machines, which was freaking awesome.
Thank you.
And I know a bunch of people there, but if you're there, let me know. We're going to talk a little more about that. You're going to be able to ask Paul questions directly. We're just going to have a good time. It's going to be pretty chill. Are you getting geared up for Thanksgiving before we dive into the business stuff?
I celebrated Thanksgiving early, so I'm actually kind of already celebrated, which is good, I guess.
Oh, so you're done. Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
nice.
I had family come down to Florida, and then we did it early, so it worked out good.
Oh, that's great. We've done that before in my family, which is sometimes it's nice to not have all that stuff to do on the actual holiday. You're like, oh, I can really relax, you know?
Yeah. I recently moved down here full time, so it's been like, trying to figure it out with flying back and forth, during holiday times, kind of not.
You're not a big fan of flying either, are you?
Oh, I'm flying a lot now. But
no. So now you fly all the time.
Yeah. I was flying down here like every other week. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to move to Florida full time.
Oh, wow. I thought for some reason, I thought that you weren't a big fan of flying.
I wasn't. I hadn't flown for like 10 years. And then, 2 years ago, I started flying like every other weekend. So,
that's something. I'm not going to get too far off topic because we'll talk about passive income and the passive income AI machines and all that stuff in a minute. But you just reminded me, Paul. So I got this, I bought this thing from Bond Halbert. They had this thing on, it was something about how Jay Abraham got clients, but like if you were one of the first 15 to buy, you got an unpublished Gary Halbert letter that he had a stack of about Jay Abraham. And
Very
so
cool.
you reminded me of it because it came the other day. And I think this is so interesting because like it's got the ad that like brought in all the clients for Jay Abraham. And the headline is "The Amazing Secret of a Marketing Genius Who is Afraid to Fly." That's why you reminded me. So the whole article is about how like if you want to hire him, you got to go to him because he won't fly.
Oh, wow. That's a good hook. I like that.
It is a great hook. And there's something else in there that I think is so clever. Of course, the way Halbert does it, it's pretty like in your face, but I think you could use it. He does a thing where it's, Jay wanted to get on calls with people.
Mm-hmm.
Jay charges $2,000 an hour this is way back then, $2,000 an hour. Yeah. So he didn't want to be on calls with people that weren't going to buy. Mm-hmm. So whenever somebody said, "Hey, I'm interested," they would get another letter that basically said, "Hey, listen, I want to make sure you're not a flake. My time is valuable. So here's what I propose. You're going to pay $100 to reserve this spot, but you're not going to pay it to me because I want to prove I'm not a flake. So all you're going to do is donate $100 to the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. So the downside is you're out $100. The upside is the hospital is getting money and we're good. And then we can have our phone conversation. And if it works out, great. And if not, no big deal.
That's a good one.
But I thought that was really clever. Like you could do that, an updated version of that, right? Where if you had your book a call page, you could say to book a call. I don't require a deposit per se. I just ask that you donate $50 to this charity, and then we'll get on a call. So they got skin in the game.
I like that. That's a good strategy. Yeah. That's really good.
What I thought was really funny about it was like the last line of the letter was, and if you're not good with this offer, you're probably a no good slime bag that I don't want to work with anyway. That was what he said in the letter. And I was like, that's a little like in your face, but how could you not?
It's polarizing.
Yes, that's for sure. Well, welcome everybody. Okay, so we're done with our tangent there. Nye, welcome. Dorn, Jacqueline. I promise this will all tie together to local marketing and all those things. Cody, Kristen, Lynette, welcome everybody. Welcome. So Paul, before we're going to do some shout outs and all that stuff, but maybe for those, I can't see who said, so Doug said he was there. Amy was there. Kristen says she was there. That's awesome. I did see somebody ask though, where that was like one of the very first questions that said,
Patty, is that the one you're talking about?
Is that the one where it says, what is the cash machines websites?
What are the machines? Are they websites?
Yeah. So maybe for the people on the live show right now, can you just give them maybe a little brief overview of kind of what we talked about? And
yeah, so a lot of you guys out there, you're probably familiar with some of the websites out there like Home Advisor, Angie, formerly known as Angie's List, Porch, Thumbtack, right? So these websites, they basically take a lead that comes in, say a homeowner needs a new roof and they're looking for a roofing contractor to, sell them a new roof or like install it, right? What they do is they basically are the middleman and they find roofers who need more work, and then they find homeowners that need new roofs, and they basically pair the two together, and they get paid a fee for every lead that they send off to the roofers. So the homeowner doesn't get charged anything for the service, the roofer does. Now, we're basically flipping this model with AI in a different way. And what we're doing is we're creating what I call money machines, right? And these money machines, they can be things like social media posts, they can be YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, you name it, or websites even. That would be the typical way that you would do this before AI. And what we're doing is the leads that come in from these money machines, we're then sending them off to a roofing contractor. We're basically becoming Home Advisor in a way. And you may be thinking, well, this is cool, but how do we stand out from Home Advisor, Angie's List, like these, multi-million dollar companies? And the way we do that is with exclusivity. So these companies charge the roofer, even if they don't get the job, they sell the lead to like 5 different people. So I'm not saying you have to necessarily sell based on if they get the job or not, but if you want to stand apart from these companies, you offer exclusivity to the lead, meaning that for your money machines, you're only going to sell it to one roofer in the area rather than 5 at the same time. That way they're not all like competing with each other on price. So that's what a money machine is. They can be all of these things. They can be one of these things, whether it's a post, a video, or a website. Usually though, when you're starting off, now thanks to AI, I would recommend that you start off with like social media videos or posts. And then while that is working, you build a website in the background as well, which would be kind of like the traditional way that we used to do things. But of course, with websites, it takes a bit longer. You have to build it out. You're doing SEO, waiting for it to rank, all that good stuff. Still great, right? Great business model. Myself, my students have made a lot of money with it. Nick and Tom, I'm sure, have made a lot of money with it as well. But it just takes longer. So now we have a way to sort of supplement that while things are taking off, which is great.
Yeah. And, if you have emergency cash shortcut, you know how to use AI to create the videos and do all that stuff really super, super easy. So it all kind of fits together, right? Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of clients over the years that have used Home Advisor, Angie's List, those places, and most people hate them. Mm-hmm. Like they would like if you come along and basically say, I'm a alternative, like for leads, they're like all ears because like you said, they give them out to 5 people. It's typically a race to who contacts the lead first and who charges the least amount of money. Like they're just not good quality leads. So I've gotten a lot of clients by sending them leads exclusively and doing those kinds of things. So Mike, it's not, it's similar to rank and rent, but a little different in that we're not building a website and SEOing a website. We're creating videos using AI.
Yeah.
Those videos get traffic and we're able to send that traffic, those leads to the contractor. So I'll just give you an example. In the past, I learned this method from Paul a long, long time ago, way before there was AI or anything like that. And so one of the things I did was I built a site in Maui. It was a moving company site. And I built the website. I started doing Google. At the time, it was Google My Business SEO that I got from Paul to that site. And I had to do all that. And then I had to wait for like a couple of months while the SEO kicked in and the site started getting traffic. It took a while. With this method now, you don't have to do that. Like you can create these videos and literally be getting leads to businesses really super quick. So you don't have to wait for the SEO to kick in. You don't have to build a website. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Now you can work all that into this and really grow this out, but to get started and generating things, you don't have to do that. And so what happened with me with that website was once it started getting calls, then I just reached out to a moving company and I was like, hey, I have a website. It's getting leads. Can I send those leads to you? And I was like, there's no charge. It's free. I want you to just take the leads, talk to them. We'll talk again in a couple weeks. And so I did that. I just started forwarding all the calls to a moving company that I talked to about that. 2 weeks later, I called the guy up and basically like the conversation, like his side of the conversation was how much? Like, because he had been getting the leads, testing them, like he knew I wasn't, and we can talk a little more about this because I think these two things are what's really so great about this method. Number one is how it gets over the credibility hump that so many of us face. And two, how you're able to lead with value. And then that changes the conversation you have so much. So eventually that moving company, they started renting that site from me. They rented it from me every month. And then they just contacted me and they're like, hey, we want to buy this site. And they just bought it outright from me.
That's cool. I would say too, that I think that's probably the primary differentiator from rank and rent versus what we were doing. So rank and rent is more so like you're actually renting for a fixed rate, right? Like almost like you would rent a house or an apartment. Like it's $1,000 a month, whether it generates 5 leads or 100 leads. What we're doing is a little bit different. It's more pay per performance, which is a little more attractive to business owners, I find. And also it is a little more beneficial to you because it gives you the opportunity to make a lot more money. So rather than renting at a fixed rate, you're saying every phone call I send you or every lead I send you is worth $50. So if I send you 5 leads, you're going to pay 5 times 50. If I send you 10 leads, you're going to pay 10 times 50. So it again helps with that credibility factor because they literally have nothing to lose. Because if they don't get any leads, they don't pay you anything. And you're basically, you're just putting the money where your mouth is. So I like that model a lot better than the rank and rent. But you could still do rank and rent with this strategy as well. Like you could still rent out these posts and videos you're creating if you want.
Yeah. Jacqueline wanted to know, how do you find the people who pay for leads on these sites?
So like I said, the easiest way is to go after these bigger sites like Home Advisor, like Angie. You can literally go on there, pretend you're a homeowner in the area, right? Say like you created a money machine in Rockford, Illinois for roofing. So go on like Home Advisor and type in roofing contractor in Rockford, Illinois, and pretend that you're a homeowner there and you're looking for a roofer. And you'll get a list of all the people that are listed on that site. And they're people that are literally paying Home Advisor for leads. So you just note them down and then Tom, you mentioned, how like you would reach out to some of them and like offer to send free leads. I actually don't even reach out. I just take my tracking phone number and I just forward it over to them with a message at the front that says, "This lead was provided to you by Paul James." And then I wait till they get like 4 or 5 leads. And then I either send them an email that basically introduces myself, or at this point, if you feel comfortable, like you don't have to, but I feel pretty comfortable getting on the phone. I'll just be like, "Hey, I'm Paul. I'm the guy that's been sending you the leads." And they're like, "I was wondering what was going on. Like, this is nice to meet you." And then I have that conversation.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, if you guys saw the post that I put in the Facebook group today too, I talked about this, looking on Home Advisors and these sites and finding these niches, all these people that are all out, they're pretty much in plain sight, right? Like just going on that site, searching for a niche in an area, and then looking at all those people that list of people, those are the people that are paying, right? Yeah. Those are the people that are paying. So really straightforward like, you do not have to make this complicated, right? Mm-hmm. And really again, nice. Those people, like most of them are not very happy with that. Like they do it because they get business, but they're not stoked about it. Like if you're able to come in and say, what if I could send you, let's say that they're, whatever, they're getting 5 leads a month from Home Advisor. You could say, well, what if I could send you 5 leads, but they don't go to anybody else. They just go to you. Exactly. Like that person's going to be like, oh yeah.
I find too with like sales stuff, the most effective way to actually get the sale, get it done, get it closed, is to actually twist the pain a little bit, right? So like you understand, like we're literally telling you right now who to go after, and we're telling you what their pain and problem is, right? Their problem is that they like the leads, they're paying for them, but they don't like that the leads are sold to 5 people. So just twist it a little bit,
Yeah.
Drive it in a little further. Like, I bet you hate paying for leads that are getting sent to 5 people at once and competing on price. And, you're just chasing a lead first, whoever gets to it first, right? And then you can offer your solution. Hey, we could work with you exclusively and just only sell it to you. And it's like, bam, like you understand them. And it's a huge psychology thing. Like people really they feel like you relate to them, you'll close a deal. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. I always think about how I got a shift from somebody at the high level about this, and like the way those kind of conversations go for me now is it's like, hey, like I'm the guy who's been sending you some leads. Oh, awesome. Can I ask you a question? Like, I know you're getting leads from Home Advisor. Like, how many leads are you getting right now? And they'll tell you, and then you're like, well, man, isn't it just super frustrating to have to try to chase those things down first before somebody else gets to them? Oh yeah, what a pain in the rear. Don't you find that people just are looking for it's like a race to the bottom for price? That just got to be super annoying, right? Like you just sound like you're just commiserating with them, like we're having a couple of beers. I'm like, this has got to be so crazy. And you're like, well, what if you didn't have to do any of that?
Yeah.
Would you even be interested in that? Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Like if I can find that, it's like you're pretty much done. Like it's like, okay, well, here's what I can do, and here's what it costs.
You're essentially leading the conversation to make them think that they came up with the idea that you already had.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Patty says, do the cash machine posts have to be on our own personal pages? Hardly on social media, so I don't have a big following.
No, in fact, they don't have to be on your own pages at all, which is a nice thing because this can be replicated from even a brand new account. So you can decide to create an account specifically for that area or specifically for that niche, kind of like the AGM sites, right? Like you're creating an AGM site around a certain city, and then you have all these different contractors. You could do it that way, create an account that's similar to that, and then have niches, or you can do it the opposite way and have a niche account with different areas. So,
well, there's 2 ways to do it, Patty. 2 ways to do it. Paul Michael says, how does the video get traffic? How do you post these videos?
So multiple ways. Number one is social traffic. So when you do it the way that I show you how to do it, you're going to drive a lot of social traffic. And there's a huge opportunity right now with short form content in particular that I really like, where short form content is getting a lot of traffic. So you can do that. Long form content has always done pretty well with with search, right? It typically will get traffic from search. And then also, like in ECS, you can do traffic with ads if you want, but you don't really have to. But if you want, you can do that as well. So multiple different ways.
There you go. And I think we answered this. So you do recommend creating some type of dedicated socials for each money machine.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep it pretty niche down so that I guess you would consider the money machine the video itself. So I guess it's not necessarily dedicated to the video itself, although you could do that if you wanted. Like you could create a separate page just for that contract you're working with once you have like someone locked down, and then you could keep creating like content around them that way, or you could keep it niche down to a location or a niche. So that'd kind of be the three ways I would do it.
Nice. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Mike. Exactly. We're getting there. Welcome, Norm. Welcome. Let me see, what does Dorn say here? He's got some comments there. Look good. Johnson's nice. Yep, they do hate home advisors. Let's see. Okay, so Maurice says, I'm in the UK. He's assuming is the USA the best?
No, we have a lot of people that do this from the UK actually, and then other countries as well. So you can either target the UK if you want, which will work fine, or you can target the United States while being in the UK, because since you're not meeting with people or cold calling, that time zone difference isn't going to make a difference to you. Like it's not going to matter. So
yeah, there you go, Maurice. Norm says, yeah, they don't really clients. Yeah, Jacqueline's in the UK as well. Hey, Norm. Okay, Amy says, how many videos per day should we post to keep the traffic going to our phone number?
I mean, I think that's going to vary on a niche and location basis. So I would say as many as you need to. Like you'll have to start posting and seeing what's getting traction, analyze what's working, and post more of that. And sometimes you'll get little evergreen ones that continue to produce the traffic consistently, and you might just be satisfied with that and not post anymore. It's just kind of a case by case basis.
Yeah, there you go, Amy. I'm not sure who this is because I don't see a name, but just to be clear, we're not doing cold calling with this method. We're not doing any cold calling. So with the cash machines, what we do is set them up, and then Paul just sends the leads to a business he's identified that could use them. He lets them get the leads for a few days, and then he contacts them and he's like, hey, I'm the guy who's been sending you leads. So it's not a cold call at all because they've been getting leads and they're going to be wondering what the heck is going on. Right. So there's really no cold call. Even in the emergency cash shortcut, like I don't think cold calling is the best strategy for that either. Like make the video and just email it to them. Hey, I created this video for you, or direct message it through social media, something like that. Like I would do that first. And then if you want to follow up with the call, you can do that. You know, it's interesting. Cameron and I were talking about this yesterday, Paul, because we were talking about follow-up, and I'm going to kind of tie this into what we have going on with these cash machines and things like that. Like one of the things that I think a lot of people think about incorrectly is what they're trying to do, the goal they're trying to get. Because like when I talk to someone, let's say that they don't have any clients, they've never generated any money from anything. And you're like, well, what is it that you would like? Well, I would just like to get a client. I would just like to generate some money from this so that I can see it's real, right? Mm-hmm. And then I will show them a strategy that is designed to generate money quickly. And their very next question will be, but how can I scale that? Like, well, those are different things, right? Like we oftentimes do different things for different results. Like generating money quickly and scaling are two. You don't have to be able to scale to generate money quickly, right? Like I could show you some what you would probably consider pretty manual things, but if you just like the ECS, the emergency cash shortcut, If you just went out and did that and started doing that every day, you could be cracking in 500, 700 bucks a pop. Like you could generate some good money doing that. Right. Totally. And it's like, you don't even have to think about the long term. Like what, like they're like, maybe you don't even turn into business. You just do that. Right. But I think what's great about this particular thing, these AI cash machines that Paul has set up, is that they are designed to do that. They're designed to generate a result quickly and start getting you paid. You know, you can figure out how to scale, grow, and do all that stuff as it goes down the road. Just follow the little system, get some results first. Like stop worrying about all the stuff that's going to come later and just worry about getting the thing you want. Like I want money right now. Like if you make some money, who cares if you can scale it or you only like, if I told you could go out and send leads to 3 businesses and you'd probably close at least one of them. Like, would you be like, oh, well, I mean, I'm not going to do it because I'd much rather send leads to 10 businesses. Like, no, you wouldn't care. Like, you'd be like, awesome, only 3 businesses and I get 1 to pay me. Like that, like, it doesn't matter, right? Like the amount of stuff you're doing doesn't matter if we're getting the result we want, which is getting paid. And so I would much rather reach out to fewer people and have a better chance of getting paid. And that's kind of what this, that's what this method and this process does. It allows you to set these things up, start generating some traction. You don't have to have credibility. You don't have to have a portfolio. All things that when you're new seem like huge mountains to overcome. Like they're not even an issue with this, right?
Totally, yeah. And that's actually what made me start using this model, is because when I started off, like I was young, I looked super young, and then going to a business owner and trying to convince them to pay me to do like search engine optimization or something like that was basically shot down right away because they didn't believe me. I didn't have results to show them of past companies that I worked with. They didn't trust me because I didn't look like a typical business owner. So I'm here like, okay, I'm either going to fail at this or I'm going to come up with a different way to make this work. So that's when I came up with, okay, let me try sending them some leads and prove to them, because once I send them leads and prove that this works, how can they say no? They can't.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like you can't deny that fact, right? You can't be like, well, do you even know how to do leads? Well, I do because you've been getting them.
Yeah, and it's like you're either going to hire me now to keep sending you leads, or I'm going to go over to your competitor on the street and he's going to get them. Yeah.
So David, so Paul did a training on Wednesday to our community. I tell you what, I'm gonna put the link to that training at the bottom here. So offlinesharks.com/AI money machines. If you didn't watch the training, I highly encourage you to open that link up. Don't start watching it now because we got more stuff to do and we're going to take more questions and all that. But you can watch that training there. It's free training. He goes through the whole process, what these are, how to set them up. A lot of the questions that you've heard people ask here, Paul answers in that training. So you can watch that. That training is only going to be up for a few days over the weekend. So open up a tab, but don't wait till next week to watch it. You want to kind of get to it. Let me go back up here and we'll go 3. Cody says, love all this, build your brand. Yep. Das says, when you send a video to a cold prospect, it is watermarked or able to be used by them, ? I think she's talking about ECS here.
Yeah. With ECS, you can definitely send the watermarked version, because that way you're getting them to pay you for it before you actually have to spend any money unlocking it yourself.
Yep. So Dana Bro says, what are the best niches? Contractors, realtors? What do you like?
Yeah. So if you do attend that training, I give you a list of all the hottest niches in the training that you can literally download. So another benefit to go watch that. But I'll say it on a general level, any type of like skilled trade service is great to go after.
Okay. And I did make a post too in the Facebook group today about what I think are going to be some of the best home services niches in 2025. If you're in our Facebook group, take a look for that. You guys can see that as well.
And that's important too. Like picking out a niche is one of the most important steps. A niche and a location, because that's the foundation, right? You don't want to get that step wrong.
Yeah, I do have something to say about that, because again, I think this is a what I call a fragile point that trips a lot of people up and prevents them from actually taking action. Is yes, very important. You want to pick a good niche, you want to pick a good location, but like we can't spend forever on that.
No.
Right? So like my recommendation to all of you, and I'm sure Paul would agree with this, is like give yourself a deadline. So be like, look, I'm gonna give myself 72 hours or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. The point is not how long the time frame is. The point is that you have a deadline and you think about it and contemplate it and come up with ideas and do all the pros and cons and all that. But at the deadline, make a decision and then start moving forward.
Yeah. And just copy exactly what I did in that replay, because you're going to have success with that if you just do it. Like just literally copy what I did.
So what you showed in the training, just copy that and they're good to go.
Yeah. Go to the replay and copy step 1 of what I did in that training.
Yeah, Avi says, I needed to hear this. I'm guilty of thinking ahead. Avi, it's so funny. I've been thinking a lot about this lately in terms of just some things that I'm trying to get better at personally. And like, I try to work on my mental my mental discipline and getting more things done. And so, one of the things that I've noticed that I've been doing with my workouts is like, I do these kind of intense workouts. They're called Jim Jones workouts, and they're intense. And so I was buying these like 5-week programs and they go on this app. And like, I would find myself on Sunday, because I work out Monday through Friday. On Sunday, I'm like going through every day to see what's coming. Right. And then I'm like, oh, the one on Wednesday looks brutal. Oh, the one on Thursday, that's like, and I'm like, now I'm like kind of dreading it as it's coming through. Right. Well, recently I switched to a monthly model with them. And so I only like the workouts don't show up in my app until Monday. And then I get Monday through Friday. But I do the same thing. I was been going through and looking, and I was like, what's better for me is instead of looking ahead and trying to overthink, like just go to the gym, open up the app and do the workout. Then it's like, idea. I'm already there. So if I'm like, oh, this looks brutal, I don't not go or not do a good performance. And so that's what I've been doing recently. But as I was doing that, I started thinking like, oh my God, this applies to business. Like I look at my calendar and my schedule and what I have coming. And instead of just coming to Monday and being like, okay, here's Monday, let's deal with what I need to do today. Like, it sounds, it might sound cheesy, but it's the one day at a time approach, right? Like, well, what's the things I need to do today? Let's not worry about all that other stuff. So I need to say that it's been on my mind a lot lately. Jigga says, what's the best way to one-off ECS? Can you give an example email? I need to try and make $1,000 for the new year. Don't we have some example emails in the course, Paul?
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, Jigga, there's some example emails inside the course that you can use.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, here's just a suggestion, Jigga. And we say this a lot. There is no secret email with wording that is going to make you successful. So is it important that we have an email that is tested and works? Yes, we give you that inside the ECS course. Just use what's there. You don't have to come up with anything. Just use what we show you in the course and send those out. What most people do is they look at what we have in there and they think, well, this can't work. I can write this better than they can. And then it doesn't work and they don't know why. And like, we already know it works. We put it all together. So push all that stuff out of your head and just use what's in there. The thing that's going to get you the $1,000 before the new year is how many videos how many videos have you already sent out? You say you need $1,000 for the new year. Have you sent out any videos yet? Like, how many are you sending out a day? Are you looking at your responses and trying to think like, well, how can I say this better? Is there something else I can do? Like, you're going to have to, the action is the only thing that's going to make that result happen, not figuring out a better email or something to send. Like, if you just start doing it every day, sending stuff out, you can get that result. But you got to be taking that action, right? You got to be taking that action.
Totally.
I don't know what number he's talking about there. Yes, David, on the free version, the videos have their watermark. And so what Paul suggests is you use that to send them out. And the minute you sell one, because they want the watermark removed, they pay you, and then you use that money to get the InVideo subscription, so you don't pay anything out of pocket. OPM, other people's money, right, Paul?
Exactly.
Yeah. Allison says, I'm starting from no income at all, so I want to take 3 steps to get in a position to see it working. Allison, the 3 steps: send out videos, send out videos, send out videos. I mean, that would be it, right, Paul? You just got to just do it. Send out videos, send out videos, send out videos.
It's very simple, especially with AI. Like, I mean,
no, yeah, you use those, right?
Just start sending them out.
Avi says, I was on the training, lots of golden nuggets. Oh, thanks, Avi. Thank you. I do recommend you guys all go watch the training. It was really, really great, Paul.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Darla says, highly recommend you. Oh, look, Dorn's back on Facebook now. Welcome, Dorn. So this is a good question, Paul. So Jigga says, for one-off, should you make one sample video to show to multiple prospects, or do you make a custom video for each?
I make a video for them. So because with AI, it's so easy now. Like, it's just a little extra work, a little extra step, but like, why not? It's so much easier to just show them, hey, this is your video. And that's typically the way I go.
Yeah, and I do feel like you'll get much better results by having the video custom to them with their business name and their stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I love automation, and what I think is so great about AI is that it allows us to create custom things so much quicker than what we could in the past. But the thing is, like, you still want it to be custom. That's what's going to get the better results.
Yep.
Nah, do it. Branch out and get her some new leads. Let's see here. Dorn says by Tuesday, 1:37 a.m. you better have a niche. I love it.
Gonna get a knock on the door.
Yeah, get them going. Norm says his favorite niche is the people that can afford him. That's awesome. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Then we're going to do some shark shout outs, and then we'll take some more questions. So Mike said, do you charge different amounts per lead depending on the niche and what their average customer is worth to them?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I personally typically will charge what Home Advisor is charging, because that's kind of my differentiator. Like, I'm going to charge you what you're already paying, but I'm going to give it to you exclusive rather than on selling it to 5 other people. So, and you can ask them what they're paying right now. They'll typically tell you.
Awesome. I don't know. David, are you asking about the access you got as a 100K club member? That's what he's asking. Yeah. David, you got the exact course that everybody else paid for included in your membership, and you got the upgrades. Yeah, 100K club members. One of the perks of being in that community is that any course that we release, you get free access to as a member. Let's see. That link is not coming up for me. Let me make sure.
I just tested the link on the screen. It's working for me. I'm not sure if they mean a different link.
Yeah, let me check here. Yeah, so I put it in and I get the replay. So yeah. All right. Let me know if you have any other issues. You can also contact support. Put the link here. Yes, the link is down in the comments there. Norm says action, action, action. All this gold, other people's money. Get your hand out of my pocket. Richie's talking about how great this goes with reach. Yes, this is really, really great with reach.
It is, yeah.
Totally. Let's see. Jigga says, when you send out a video with watermark, does it have the in-video watermark or can you create a custom one? Look, Jigga, they're not going to do that. They wouldn't even know where to start with in-video. Like, even if they thought that watermark was the place and they're like, oh, I'm going to go check out this in-video place. Like, they wouldn't even know where to start. Like, a part of the process is the creation of the script and all that stuff that you feed into in-video, which Paul has a very specific and worked out process for. They couldn't go to in-video and create a video like that. Like, it would be...
Also, a lot of times it's showing the stock photo sites or wherever where in-video pulled it from. And then Jacqueline said a good point too. In-video gives you free, I think, for a week on even just the free plan with no watermark.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, I think that's like, that's not going to be an issue. And if somebody goes there, then so what? Like, you're sending out more videos anyway. You just, like, big deal. Just keep doing what you're doing. There are going to be plenty of people for every, if you happen to come across one person that does that, there's going to be 10, 20, even more people that are never going to do that. And you have a chance to sell something too. So don't let a fear, like something like that, stop you. I remember when we started, we had this one prospecting method and we thought for sure when we talked to people about it, they were going to ask us about traffic. And so Nick and I spent like 4 days crafting all of these responses to what if somebody asks us about traffic? And then like we started the prospecting method. We've been doing it for 5 years. Not one person has ever asked us about traffic. Not one person, like 4 days of our lives to craft these responses that we've never even used. So I'm a big fan of do the action. And if you see that happening 99% of the time, then you can adjust. But if it's just some random person, or you probably wouldn't even know that's happening because your results will be so the other way, right? So let me see here. Everybody says link works. Okay. David, just go to offlinesharks.com/support and we can point you in the directions of those templates. Jacqueline says, I sent the video I made for the Facebook group to my existing client with the in-video watermark still on it. Their tech savvy knew immediately where it was from. So I thought I'd made a big mistake. They're so busy that they told me do it for them anyway. Exactly. Well, businesses don't want to stop and figure this out. You've already done it. Like, just do it for you anyway. Man, that's a great one, Jacqueline. Great one. Okay, look, I want to do some shark shout outs here. If you guys, again, go to offlinesharks.com/AI money machines. You can watch Paul's free training there where he covers all the details of this method, how to do it, how to get going, all that stuff. It's free. We're going to do some shark shout outs. If you think of some other questions, we'll get to those after we do the shark shout outs. And then we got some Cash App money to give away. Yeah, Jigga, exactly. He said, sometimes I forget the business owners don't know a minuscule fraction of what. Yeah, that's man, I have made that mistake for so many years. It's taken me a long time to get over that. Like, there's so much.
Even we need to be reminded of that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, when I just look at things people do and there's no headline, I think, God, if they just had a headline, like that's like a revelation to them. They're like, what? Are you some kind of marketing genius? Like, you ever hear of an autoresponder? What's that? To them, that's like magic, They're like, oh my God.
For real.
So yeah, anyway. Okay, let's do some shout outs. So first off, I want to give a big shout out to all of our 100K Club members that posted on the accountability post this past week. John Hardiman, Dan Lesser, James, Shelley Ward, Richie Cronin, Jacqueline Heath, Dave Stinger, Chris Byrne, E.G. Buzz. Way to hold each other accountable and keep moving forward. I love it. I love seeing that. I also loved the post in there. Somebody asked ChatGPT to create an image based on what they know about them. And so like we've all been posting images in there and it's pretty funny. Look here, I'll show you. Look at this one. I gotta get to this thing. Then I have to find it. Chat GPT's got jokes. What was the name of the one? Oh, here. So look, this is the image that Chat GPT created for me that I shared in the group. Check that out. Cool. Vegas, poker, magic, business. I was like, yep. That's all the good stuff right there.
What was the prompt you used for that?
I just said, Chat GPT, create an image based on what you know about me. Now, it did say, I don't know too much about you. Please answer these questions. And it asked me some questions. And then I put in the answers, and then it created that image. But there's a bunch of other ones in there. If you're in the 100K club, there's a bunch of other ones in there as well. Also, big shout out to Jerry Wright and Agency Evolution for his accountability check-in, keeping himself accountable, taking action. Where are my other Agency Evolution members? Come on, guys. I should see all of you on this list every week. Where are you at? Don't let me down this week. Post your accountability check-ins in there, right? Again, it's all about the actions, taking the actions. Okay. Next up, we've got,
Chat GPT says I'm a lead gen master.
Oh,
no, I'm for real too.
That is fancy schmancy. A lead gen master.
I just tested it.
That's great. Okay. We got some shark shout outs this week. So first up, EG Buzz. She had an invoice win shared for an increase for social media and YouTube presence, 75% video marketing, 25% SEO, $2,750 upfront from $2,000. Way to go, EG. Way to go. That's awesome. Chris Byrne, an existing SaaS client upsell, $5.99 a month, SEO, and a $500 website. He closed a bigger sale. This one required a couple of interviews, first with the CEO, then to the marketing officer, and back to the CEO. But it's an SEO service, $2,695 a month, and a $2,000 website. Solid win. Solid win.
A good win.
Cody Weaver, white label contract with another agency, $500 for ads management, $1,500 from the agency, ads management, $575 a month, insurance group, geofencing, $500 a month, Christian radio station. So that's good stuff.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Chris said that big win came from an accountability hack by telling people who I take seriously about my agency goals when I got started. Lo and behold, a mentor of mine connected and to me this business and time to put my money where my mouth is. Oh, that's great. Wow. Awesome stuff.
Very cool.
Way to go, Cody. Paul Michael, close a past client into a monthly recurring revenue client, $250 a month, review management using the stealth prospecting method. That's awesome.
Very good.
I want to take a little screenshot of this one because I've been talking to somebody over chat that's going through the stealth prospecting, and they have reviews, and I think this might be some inspiration for them. So that is a grand total for the week of November 16th through the 22nd of $10,369. So far this year in 2024, you, the people in our community, have generated $1,056,216 since the start of 2024. Congratulations. We've still got a few months to bump that number up. So make sure you're sharing your wins, even the monthly recurring ones, even the little ones, even if the win doesn't lead to money. Any type of a win for traction and progress is celebrated here in the group. So make sure you do that as well. Congratulations to everybody. Oops. How do I? Oh, there we go. I couldn't remember how to get that out of there. Okay, we'll take that out of there. Let's see. Do we have any other questions for Paul? We do have a official lead gen expert on the stream today. So what is that what they said? Lead gen expert or master?
Lead gen master.
Oh,
some amazing wins too, everyone.
An official lead gen master. So now's the time to ask your questions. Yeah, you know, we are just a couple of things. So we are getting ready to come up on the holiday season, right? Thanksgiving is next week. We're going to have Christmas after that, New Year's Eve. This is a busy time for a lot of people, but I would encourage you to not to slack off on your prospecting and your efforts to get traction. Remember, business owners during this time are busy. So just because they don't respond right away doesn't mean it's a no. Like, they're busy. They may get back to you later. Like, keep hammering away. Also, lots of businesses out there that are looking to use up that end of the year marketing budget or get some tax relief by marketing. And the beginning of the year, a great time for a lot of businesses to start off some new marketing. And yes, we got a lot of stuff coming. We got the Christmas extravaganza, which we love to do here. And yeah, lots and lots of things. So I'm actually not going to be here on the live show the next couple of weeks. My mom is coming to town on Monday. And so I'm going to be hanging out with her and working still, but hanging out with her a lot and all that stuff. So, and my youngest daughter turns 16. Oh, Paul, 16. Yikes. Okay, I don't see any other questions in here. So we do have one more thing that we like to do on this live show every week, and that is, oh, here we go. David does have one question. We're going to give away some Cash App money. So I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to answer this question. So today I want you guys to put into the chat hashtag passive income. Hashtag passive income. Here in a minute, I'm going to, click the button of destiny, and we're going to give two people $25 in cold, hard Cash App money. Okay, so Howard said, best times you find for reaching out with different methods: phone, email, Facebook. Paul, do you have some input on that?
I personally like reaching out right around after lunchtime. I think if you're doing email, it's not really that big of a deal because they can see it when they can see it. But by phone, usually catching them kind of in the middle of the day after they've done like their important stuff in the morning is usually a good bet. But yeah, you also don't want to catch them when they're at lunch. So you kind of want to catch them either right before or after lunch.
Yeah, and probably the end of the day isn't the best because they're trying to get out there. They're trying to do those things. I think too, David, like whatever types of businesses that you're reaching out to, really try to learn like what does their workday look like, right? Because so as a former restaurant manager, I know like all kinds of people would always prospect us at the worst time. Like to walk into a restaurant during the lunch rush and be like, I'd like to speak to the manager. Like, there's no way you're not going to talk to the manager. Like, they got 1,000, they're in the middle of lunch rush, dinner rush, right. The same thing. So think about, well, this business that I'm reaching out to, can I find out kind of what their work day and rhythm looks like? And then you can figure out a time that would work best for that specific industry. I always, as a general rule of thumb too, Paul, like I tend to not like to reach out on Mondays because I think people are getting in from the weekend. There's just a lot of stuff to do on Mondays. And I tend to not like to reach out on Fridays because I feel like people are like one foot out the door trying to get going. So I like to do Tuesdays through Thursdays, but that's just me.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yep. Chica says, when setting up AI money machines, how many videos do you set up a week with tracking numbers?
Like I said, it's going to vary depending on, how the lead flow is coming in. You might find you're getting a sufficient lead flow and just stop altogether and let it ride. So you kind of just have to analyze and go from there. Yeah.
Jacqueline, you're a little early. Paige's birthday is January 10th. She's my oldest. She's going to be 18 on January 10th. Sophie is turning 16 this Saturday, November 30th. So an 18 and a sick man, Paul, I'm getting old, dude. I don't like it. I'm getting old. All right, look, while the rest of you are putting in hashtag passive income, I'm going to play our favorite song on a Friday.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling.
All right, let's draw for our first Cash App money. Here we go. The first winner, $25 in Cash App money is Jigga. Look at that. Congratulations.
Congrats.
25. Look at that. You are now you only need $975, right, Paul? Yeah.
One step closer.
Now you only need $975. So forces are already aligning to get you there.
Yep.
So Jigga, what's going to happen is you can share your Cash App tag in the chat, or someone from our team will reach out to you, or you can just send go submit a ticket. offlinesharks.com/support. Say you're the Cash App winner. You can give us your PayPal or your Cash App tag, and we'll get you $25 in cold hard cash. All right, let's do another one. Here we go. Second winner of the $25 in Cash App money goes to. Tried to say it with some authority there. Kevin White. Congratulations, Kevin. What I said about the prize money, ditto for you. So put your info in the chat, or somebody from our team will reach out. So congratulations to all those winners. Hey, this was an awesome live show, Paul. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Really encourage you all to go to offlinesharks.com/AI money machines. Watch Paul's free training. It's awesome. There's a ton of great stuff in there. It's only going to be up for the next few days. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let us know. Stay safe out here. Since I'm not going to see you all next week, I would like everybody to have a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. Take some time for yourself, but still take some time to make some progress. I'll be seeing you guys in the Facebook group and around. So stay safe. Practice aloha. We'll see you later, everybody.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam session. We've helped thousands just like you start and scale their businesses. If you'd like our help to grow your business, go to the link on your screen now and let us know how we can help you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.